Senator Heidi Heitkamp joins us now. She is a member of the Banking Committee and has spoken with Ms. Yellen. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
So, what's the hardest question you plan on asking today?
Well, I probably won't get a chance to ask a question because I sit at the very end. I'm more curious about the questions the Republicans will ask. The one thing about the Republicans on the Banking Committee is they really focus on what's actually at issue. They don't go off on a tangent, and so I think we're going to find out kind of what the future is for this nomination based on the questioning. So
Senator,
I had a chance to visit with Janet Yellen. I think she's eminently qualified. I think that she will give predictability in a time when we don't give that very often in Washington, D.C. So I'm looking forward to listening to all the questions.
Senator, two questions. First, is this just theater today? Is there any chance that she doesn't get the nod ultimately?
Oh, I think she's going to be approved. I think, we obviously had some questions about Larry Summers, and that was dealt with this nomination. And so I think she'll have unanimous Democrat support. And I think after what we did in October, I think it's important that we send the right message, which is that we're ready to do the business in the United States Senate, approve people who are responsible for monetary policy, and give the market predictability.
Senator, I had a conversation with Larry Fink about 2 days ago, and one of the things that we raised, or that he raised rather, when he had come out somewhat publicly in support of Larry Summers, and I'd said, how do you feel about Janet Yellen, and what's the distinction? He talked about what happens in a financial crisis, and that he was rooting for Larry, I think, at that time, because he felt that if there was another financial crisis of some sort, he felt that Larry had that experience. Do you feel that Janet Yellen has the right experience if we run into an iceberg?
I think that we're at a slow steam here, and I think she's got the right experience to keep us on a steady course and maybe amp up the speed at which we're traveling in this economy. And, I think I'm more concerned about a sluggish recovery than I am another major financial crisis.
You know, Senator, politics always makes strange bedfellows, and I've been thinking about this more. So the Democrats didn't like Larry Summers that much for a variety of reasons, but one maybe because he was less prone to continue QE as long. And I guess Democrats say, well, QE will help get people jobs, although I don't know whether there's any evidence. But lately there's been a shift in opinion that QE is really helping people that are in the 1%. It's helping the stock market. It's helping people that already have assets. It's hurting savers. So it's just weird. That would normally be somewhere where the Democrats would want to play and would want to say, look, we don't like the income disparity that's happening from QE. And you figure the Republicans are supposed to like that since they're lining their friends' pockets. And can you see how it's kind of shifted? Do you feel it?
Well, I don't feel it. I think that there's a limited number of tools when you're at zero interest rate in order to provide stimulus to the economy. Whether this is a long-term strategy that needs to be pursued on and on continuously, I think that's a real question.
But we're hoping
that she will roll it back.
I mean, you know who owns assets? Those are people that own assets. And you know who doesn't own them? Those are the people that are being left behind. And here we are hitting new highs every day. And, the minimum wages and people on the low end of the scale aren't benefiting at all. So sooner or later, if it's not working, that's the definition of craziness, isn't it? You keep trying to do something that doesn't seem to be doing what you want it to do.
Well, you can't deny that in a day or in a time when we are moving away from defined benefits to defined contributions, more and more of the middle class has their savings in the stock market.
True.
So it's not just benefiting the 1%. I think when you look at long-term strategies for saving for the future and saving for retirement, that stock market makes a big difference.
We had Randi Weingarten. She wants to go back to, I'm staggered that people still are trying to sell the defined benefit. It seems so hard to do. It seems like it's fraught with risk because you can't guarantee anyone 7 or 8% anymore.
Well, whether you want it or not, I think it's gone permanently.
Senator, very quickly, after this nomination is going to be apparently approved, there's a lot of people that believe Yellen is going to push for Congress to come up with a massive stimulus program. I mean, it's already been leaked out there. Are you and your colleagues going to get behind trying to get another massive stimulus program put through post this nomination being accepted?
I think there's a lot of folks in the Capitol who are worried about the sluggish recovery. They're worried about a lack of investment in infrastructure. I've even had conversations with people who will talk about repatriating offshore income so that we can put it in a stimulus bank or in an infrastructure bank and basically get America back to work, especially those folks that you just talked about, which are on the lower end of the economic scale.
Hey, Senator, pardon me for not knowing. You weren't there for the Obamacare vote, were you, or were you?
Nope. No,
so you
I
don't
was
have to
not.
worry, but...
Well, I think everybody here has to worry because this is about 20% of the economy and about an absolute essential ingredient of
you're
family
in North Dakota. You should be really negative on it because you're in North Dakota where actually people have jobs and are actually, achieving things. So what do you want to do? We're going to fix it? Do you think the Landro thing makes sense?
Well, I think that we need to better understand all of the problems. I agree with so many people who have said the website is the least of our problems. What we've got is a marriage penalty. We've got people who are being kicked off plans when they never thought they were going to be kicked off plans, having their rates double or triple. That needs to be addressed. But we also need to understand that the insurance industry has priced their products based on a set of rules. We change those rules now. We can't put this all back on the insurance companies. We've got to figure out a way that we do this in a way that doesn't completely unravel the market.
Okay. Senator Heidi Heitkamp, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.